So we're about to drill a hole in the side of the van for the outlet for the 240 or 230. I've got it marked up there. Just going to drill that out and then fit the flap. So we opted to drill out small holes all the way around. This weakens out the structure. Obviously no going back now. And then we're going to drill these slightly larger to join them all up to take out the inner piece. So we now fitted the outside outlet. So we're ready for electric hookup when we go onto a site. So yesterday we fitted the there we go. Yesterday we fitted this, which is our external power supply for when we're on site. Not too bad really. The only thing we didn't have is we didn't have a good jigsaw blade, so we ended up, as you saw, cutting it in rings and then filing it out. So that's the outside. And then taking it into the inside, we had to remove the vapour barrier that we so tidily put in, and obviously the insulation around this area, making sure that we didn't get too close to the rib here, and gives ourselves plenty of room to work to fit in the wiring needed for the outlet, power outlet. Also yesterday we managed to fit in the low level bulkhead fitting for the roof for our wiring. Obviously we haven't coupled this up yet. We will be doing once we've got somewhere to feed the wires to on the bottom. But we've fed that all the way through underneath the van, underneath that set of solar panels. It then comes down into here. Quite a comprehensive fitting on that one. It comes with all the screws, all the fittings, everything else. And then what we've done, we've brought the bulkhead one round at the back of this. It's then gone into trunking, which will then follow it through down here into this and down onto our floor area. And what we've done here, we've just left it loose at the end and got to, obviously too long, because at the moment we know our battery area and our charging station and all our electrics are going to go in this area. So at the moment we've just left it all along so that we can cut it back. So make sure, I think it's 12mm ply, but apparently the wiring and all the board like this that we need for our electric setup needs to be thicker. So it may be 15, it might be 16, not sure at the moment what size is recommended, but anything up to 20mm. I think the inverter weighs quite a lot of weight, so because it weighs quite a lot, it probably needs something more secure. But we will be fastening that onto our beams inside and everything else, so we need to make sure it is secure and strong enough. The other thing that we're going to be doing today is our battery is located under the panel there, and what we're going to be trying to do is bring some wiring through our seat box and out, and this wiring will be the one that we use to charge the battery up in the van. That's the running battery, by the way. It's going to go from the main battery into our DC-DCs and everything that connects together. So what we've done is we've gone out and we've bought quite a big or small, depending on your size, but we've been out and bought an hydraulic crimping tool. So this crimping tool is to enable us to fasten the lugs on the ends of the wires correctly. At the moment we're running a 16mm cable that's going to go from the battery into our charger system, and also we're going to be running some fuses in that area. So basically in our kit we've got quite a few selections of lugs and fuses. So these are all part of the kit that we've bought. I'm hoping that everything here is all we're going to need, but of course if you make a fault with this when you're using the crimper, then obviously you're going to have to replace the lugs there. So it looks like we've got a comprehensive list. So let's see about putting a lug on some cable. So we've got his end, now we've got to find the correct lug for that. And on this particular application we're using 16/6. So that's basically 16mm at the bottom and a 6mm hole at the top. So that's our lug going into there. It's a little bit long here, so I'm just going to trim a bit off. So I've now cut off the length that we need, so we don't have any copper showing in between. Now we're going to put some shrink wrap over the top of that. The shrink wrap that is supplied is quite flat, so when you come to put this in there, it's not as easy as it looks. There. So because I put the lug on that end, I'm going to put the shrink wrap down the other end and then pull it through. The reason for this is if you try to get the shrink wrap over the ends, then what you'll end up doing is splaying out the ends. So we've now got that in. In here we've got a clamp. So we're going to put that into that section there. And we're going to start pumping. And as we start pumping, it's going to start closing that up. Hope you can see that. So we've got to a point where there's a bit of resistance now. Going to make sure that our cable's well and truly in, and then we're going to put this together. There we go. Just open that up. And what it's done is it's crimped it onto our cable. I can no longer pull that out. So that's a good tight fit. So we bring our shrink wrap over the top. There we go. And we're just going to shrink wrap that on. And that's that end secured. So as we can see on this, we've now put the shrink wrap on. It's secured, it's shrunk wrap. So we've basically got insulation all the way down to the lug. Now this is going to be going on our little fuse box section that's in between the seats. So let's take it there. So we're going to be trying to feed this through where we put the other one. One went through, so I'm expecting the second one going through. It's a little bit difficult down this section here, as I can see where the other cable is, and I know there should be a hole big enough to put that in. But it doesn't seem to want to go. Just try my patience a little bit. So that clips into place. We'll now feed our cable through. So we've got a little nut there. We've got a little connector. That's going to be located there. So we separated our two fuses either side of that cable. So I'm going to bring that through there. It's been asked in the instructions to put the fuses as close to the battery as we can. So we found this little recess under the floor, and what we're going to be doing is locating our two there. Now on our battery we've got a mounting here. It's got a buzz bar in it, so what we've done is we've taken two of our cables that we're going to be using for that charging system from the buzz bar. So it's going to go buzz bar into fuses, on under and around the seat. Bear in mind we are going to put some trunking on this, and putting the lugs on, and obviously we're going to shrink wrap these ends like we have on these. So we've done that one, that one, that one. So I'm just about to do the same on this one. So I've cut this to length, just going to bare the ends and put the lugs on, shrink wrap, and then we're going to connect them back up. Now one thing to bear in mind is that if you've connected to the buzz bar, these should be live, but luckily on the buzz bar there's two sections, and I think these two sections allow you to use a fuse. So at the moment there's no fuse in that buzz bar, so basically these wires and these cables and fuse are all dead. So there's no. You just take a look inside here, and I've got one cable coming which is already there. That one there is already down towards the end, so we're just going to feed the other one. So I'm going to take it back a bit, and then put it back down in a similar place to the other one. And it pops out here. There we go. So we're not going to bring too much through. There we go. So we've got a little bit of leeway there with our cabling. So we're going to locate these with these little locating tabs either side. I'm going to drill that into the floor, tighten the nuts up, and then they will be in place. So we've now located and secured our two fuses. I think these are 60 amp, but then like I said earlier, they're not live at this moment. We need a couple of similar size fuses in that that spur off that one for that to feed down here. These wires now go through there, exit here, and we've left. So I've just been taking a look at our schematics for our electrics, and as you can see here we've got to earth everything back to ground eventually anyway, but we've got two mini fuses there that are in between the seats. We've got two cables coming up, and both of them two red ones are in 16mm. They're going up to our DC chargers. Just making sure that we don't require lugs on this end. Nothing worse than using lugs and then not requiring them. So one of the jobs we're going to be doing today is we're going to be sighting our electrical board on the side of the van. What we're going to be doing is taking it down into this area here, because we've now got our battery. As you can see, quite a substantial battery. It's a 24 volt one. As we're going to try and keep everything close by, and we're going to try and keep everything in that area, then that's the first thing we're going to have to mount. So we strengthened up the sides of the van with these boards, with these spars, and hopefully there's enough there. So this is going to be our electrical corner there, and this black wire and this sheathing is our wire that's coming from the roof for our solar, and this is going to be the starting point. So we're going to start putting the boards. We've already cut all down here for the inlet for the outside hookup source. So we started with the MPPT solar charger in that area, and we're just welding from that. So this is as far as we've got today. We've got most of our electrical equipment on our board. Not sure at the moment if they're in the right place, but we're going to be trying to get some wire between and some cables between these units tomorrow. So looks like it's getting the end of the day. It's getting a bit dark out there, so we'll see you next time. Bye for now.